Let's go. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Heartland Championship Wrestling. My name is Dave Little, and we are coming to you live from the Dave Cave with action from Pro Wrestling Mid-America. Off to an early start today. Wanted to get things done before the World Series starts later on this evening. So, let's get it going. Carl Zilla, first in line at the turnstile today, and the most creative man in the Heartland, the maker of the Filsinger Games Assistant, a very handy desktop utility where you can create bootlegs and you can run matches on your own tabletop on your own PC. And I have just gotten started using that regularly for a little side project that I'm working on. Probably not something that will ever make it to the airwaves, but having a lot of fun with that, Carlzilla. And thank you for providing both the bootlegger and the desktop assistant for matches. And of course, solo promoter Grant Bachoco has that on his channel on a regular basis. Also here in the chat, we have Neely Bob, the #1 fan of the Heartland. Neil Lau is with us. And Neil, I'm sure, with some updates on Velvet Wrestling. Exciting show that took place earlier today. And I will leave it to Neil to provide us with the updates of that, although several big events have taken place in the Velvet universe. Now, on to the Heartland. It is the month of October, and that means it is Filsinger Cup Tournament time. And the actual Tournament of Champions where the Filsinger Cups will be awarded is 1 week from tonight. Saturday, November 1st, Oklahoma City will be the setting for the Tournament of Champions 2025. And when we finish up here today, all of the matchups for next week will be set. Plus, a special main event tonight from Pro Wrestling Mid-America, the PWMA Tag Team Championships on the line, as the 3W, the Whatever We Want team of Ole Anderson and Stan Hansen will take on some formidable challengers indeed, Dax Harwood, Cash Wheeler, FTR. So that will be tonight's main event. Now, before we came to air, some very interesting things happened in Pro Wrestling Mid-America in our preliminary matches. The opening matchup pitted two guys who have, in recent months, struggled to find their way in PWMA, pitting Scott Hall against Nikita Koloff. Scott Hall, previously the enforcer for Shawn Michaels. Scott Hall just back from an injury, a broken arm that he suffered at the hands of Jackie Fargo, believe it or not. And sure enough, it was Scott Hall in his return from injury taking on Nikita Koloff, and his struggles have been well documented. And believe it or not, Scott Hall won that match over Nikita with a body slam and a flash pin right from the get-go by virtue of outside interference by Arn Anderson. Arn Anderson now working with the 3W faction. And much to the surprise of many, Hall shook hands with Arn Anderson and accepted a job offer. Scott Hall doesn't care who's writing the checks. His arm's better and business is business, and he is signed on with the 3W faction that actually injured him in the first place a few months ago. Then we saw Arn Anderson in the ring against Junkyard Dog. Another chaotic situation as Nikita Koloff returns to ringside, distracting Arn and setting up Arn for defeat by way of the crawling headbutt from Junkyard Dog. So tit for tat there, Arn Anderson and Nikita Koloff costing each other matches at the very opening of the show. And in our third match, just before we came to air, it was Ron Garvin, another longtime nemesis of the 3W squad, taking on the Iron Sheik, and the ring was surrounded by members of 3W. Garvin came out of the ring, grabbed a sledgehammer, and took after members of 3W with it. And amidst the chaos, Garvin actually hit his opponent, Iron Sheik, with the sledgehammer, and that cost Garvin the disqualification. Iron Sheik, not a member, not affiliated with 3W. Wrong place, wrong time. And that got him a sledgehammer blow to the stomach. But it also got him a disqualification victory, surprisingly enough, over Ron Garvin just before we came to air. And that brings us to tonight's feature matches here in St. Louis. And we're going to kick things off with Filsinger Cup action. Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is scheduled for one fall with a 60-minute time limit. Disqualification rules will be in effect, although probably not necessary in this matchup. This is a semifinal matchup for the Filsinger Cup Tag Team Tournament. The winner of this match will go on to the finals next week at the Tournament of Champions to wrestle for the Filsinger Cup. Introducing first, at a total combined weight of 535 pounds, out of the state of Michigan, it is Rick and Scotty, the Steiner brothers. So the Steiner brothers in action here in tonight's tag team semifinal match, and the team they will face collectively from the state of Tennessee at a total combined weight 474 pounds, collectively known as the Wild-Eyed Southern Boys. It is Tommy Rich and TRACY Smothers. So the Wild-Eyed Southern Boys set to take on the Steiner brothers with a championship match in the works for the winner. So we will go to our championship dice. The silver and gold dice that we use for all of our championship matches. And the dice say that TRACY Smothers will be starting things off for the Southern Boys against Scotty Steiner. As we get our first announcement from Neely Bob, Hiro Matsuda debuted in Velvet but lost his first match. So unfortunate for Hiro, but thank you for sharing the results. And right here we have Scott Steiner getting the initiative. And coming out with a single leg takedown attempt on TRACY Smothers. Got him down. TRACY quickly back up to his feet. They come back together in the center of the ring. And another single leg takedown by Scotty Steiner, putting on a veritable wrestling clinic here to start things off. And now a big Steiner line that TRACY Smothers is able to duck. Wow, TRACY Smothers has a family to think of, and he's lucky to have ducked that Steiner line. And it is TRACY coming back now with a whip to the ropes. Off the ropes comes Scotty Steiner, and on a roll of 9, it is a running back elbow delivered by TRACY Smothers that stuns Scotty Steiner. TRACY now follows that up with a big jumping wheel kick, nicely executed, that stuns Scotty. TRACY with the momentum now, going for a big clothesline. This is a choice F maneuver, choice F. He will need 5 or lower to hit that. And on a roll of 7, TRACY misfires with the clothesline. Scotty now back in control, and Scotty coming back with a forearm shot to the side of the head. Scotty follows that up with another forearm shot, and he has the momentum here as he tries to roll TRACY over into a single leg Boston Crab, and TRACY avoids that and gets to his feet. Scotty going to tag in brother Rick to the match for the first time. Rick Steiner now coming out against TRACY Smothers, as Scotty and TRACY had a good exchange there with no damage done. And now Rick comes into the ring and attempts a hip toss, but that is an agility move, and TRACY able to avoid that, and TRACY coming back with another big jumping wheel kick. And another Steiner brother takes a boot to the side of the head from the athletic feet of TRACY Smothers. And now TRACY is going to tag Tommy Rich into the contest for the first time. Tommy Rich coming in against Rick Steiner, and he is throwing lefts and rights. Tommy Rich fired up, throwing those punches. Rick Steiner absorbs those and comes back with a Steiner line of his own that stuns Tommy Rich. I'll tell you, throwing hands with Rick Steiner is like trying to attack an anvil with your bare hands. It's just not going to end well. And now it is Rick Steiner in control with a, thought about a whip to the ropes, thought better of it. Instead, just a big body slam, taking Tommy down to the canvas. Steiner follows that up, tag to brother Scotty, and a double team backbreaker elbow smash executed by the Steiner brothers puts Tommy down on the canvas. Scotty now in control, and he is going to go up for a death jump. Death jump attempt here coming up from Scotty, and on a roll of 6, Scotty nails a big flying clothesline off of the top turnbuckle, and Tommy Rich once again is down. Scotty looking to capitalize here. The brothers are going to go for a super DDT. That's a +3 finisher. And on the pin roll, it is Tommy just able to kick out. Wow. What an explosive sequence there by Scotty Steiner, as he has taken control of this match, and now Rick is in the ring and in control, looking for a finisher on Tommy. He is going to go with a big belly-to-belly suplex. He's going to go once again for the cover, and once again Tommy forced to kick out. Tommy Rich taking some damage here at the hands of both of the Steiner brothers. And Rick keeps the pressure on with another belly-to-belly suplex. This time Tommy able to roll away and begin getting to his feet. Rick Steiner stays on him, and Steiner now with a twisting power slam puts Tommy right back down onto the canvas where he belongs. As Rick Steiner is running around the ring, woofing it up. The fans here in St. Louis, of course, both these teams fairly well liked. But Rick now has the momentum, and he pitches Tommy out of the ring and down to the arena floor, and here we go. And on a roll of 8, it is Rick Steiner winning the brawl on the arena floor with an Irish whip into the ring barricade. Tommy Rich crashing hard, rolling back into the ring. This is going to be a double team opportunity for the Steiner brothers, and on a roll of 6, it is a bone-crunching double clothesline delivered by Rick and Scotty, and Tommy still in big trouble here. Scotty Steiner now in control, and he is going to prevent Tommy Rich from crawling out of the ring, and instead it is Scotty rolling Tommy over into a single-leg Boston Crab, trying to keep Tommy from escaping the ring. And now Tommy is able to reach over and tag in TRACY Smothers to this match. So Rich took some damage there, but the match continues with TRACY Smothers now the legal man in the ring and firing away at Scotty Steiner with a big drop kick. Scotty takes the drop kick but comes back and catches TRACY. Big belly-to-belly suplex from Scotty puts TRACY down on the canvas. And now it is Scotty in control with another big fall-away slam. TRACY Smothers going to roll out of the ring and down to the arena floor, but on a roll of 8, Scotty's just going to wait it out and force TRACY to make that helpless crawl back into the ring, where Scotty is waiting with another tilt-a-whirl slam on his agenda, and down to the canvas hard goes TRACY Smothers. Scott makes the tag back into brother Rick. Rick Steiner now in the ring against TRACY with a whip to the ropes. Off the ropes comes TRACY Smothers. And on a roll of 5, that is TRACY with a running shoulder block that took Rick off balance and took Rick down to the mat. TRACY now with a chance to get some offense in. A flying shoulder block keeps Rick down on the canvas. Rick unable to make the tag as TRACY comes to follow up. And another big flying shoulder block puts Steiner down once again. And now Tommy is coming into the ring, and the Southern boys will have a double team opportunity. And on a roll of 10, it is a collision. A collision between the Southern boys that botches the double team attempt. And now TRACY is dazed, and Rick Steiner has the opportunity to take control, and he's going to grab TRACY and whip TRACY to the ropes. Off the ropes comes TRACY Smothers, and yet again, TRACY getting the drop on Rick and putting Rick back down on the canvas with a running shoulder block. And now TRACY explodes off the ropes again with a running cross body that puts Rick down. but Rick quickly back to his feet. TRACY is on him. Another running cross body block and another quick recovery by Rick STEINER. Rick STEINER will not go down. The Southern boy is going to try that double team again, and this time a bone-crunching double clothesline finds its mark. Rick is stunned, and Tommy is in the ring now and in control. And Tommy is going to come up with and whip Rick out of the ring and down to the arena floor. Rick STEINER now on the arena floor, Tommy Rich in pursuit. But it is Rick STEINER who is going to win the brawl on the arena floor. As we adjust our camera angles here a little bit, as Rick wins the brawl on the arena floor and drops Tommy Rich throat first onto the steel security railing. Tommy Rich regrets many of the decisions in his life. That one probably as much as any, as Rick STEINER is now in control. He's going to go for a back body drop. He needs a roll of 7 or lower to hit that, and Rick is unable to get the back body drop on Tommy Rich, and instead it's Tommy now back in control with a big right uppercut that puts Rick STEINER down onto the mat. STEINER not able to make the tag, as Tommy now with another chance to do some damage here. He's going to go with a big vertical suplex that puts Rick STEINER down on the canvas once again. Tag back into TRACY SMOTHERS, the fresher man of the Southern boys, and TRACY with a series of looping right hands to Rick. Rick is going to fire right back with a big elbow to the top of the head. TRACY standing his ground. TRACY comes back and fires away with a big drop kick that puts Rick on his keister. Rick getting back up to his feet. TRACY's on him, and TRACY is on him with a whip to the turnbuckle. Off the turnbuckle comes Rick STEINER, and on a roll of 5, it is STEINER who bounces forward off of the turnbuckle and nails TRACY SMOTHERS with a skull-splitting running lariat. TRACY goes down hard and slowly gets to his feet as Rick is on him, and Rick now again with a whip to the ropes. TRACY coming off the ropes, and on a roll of 7, Rick puts him down with a big running shoulder tackle. The stronger of the two men in this match won that exchange, and now a big backbreaker elbow smash combo by Rick and Scotty has stunned TRACY SMOTHERS. STEINER's going to try another double team here, and on a roll of 2, a deadly face-first double suplex puts TRACY down on the mat. Scotty goes for the cover, and TRACY able to kick out. Good double team move there by the STEINER brothers. Scotty now in control, and Scotty going to go for a double underhook power bomb, and down to the canvas once again goes TRACY SMOTHERS. What's he going to do now? He is going to get TRACY up for a whip to the ropes. TRACY coming off the ropes, and on a roll of 12, Scott annihilates TRACY with a big overhead belly-to-belly suplex. As TRACY was coming off the ropes, Scotty using that momentum to his advantage to take control, and now they're going for the Super DDT. Scotty's got him up. Rick's fixing to come off of the top turnbuckle. The pin roll here will be 7, so Tommy's going to try a pin save. Tommy not able to make the save, and on a roll of 5, they got him. A flawless victory for the STEINER brothers. Rick and Scotty advance to the finals of the Filsinger Cup Tournaments, Tag Team Tournament for 2025, as Scotty gets the pin on TRACY SMOTHERS with a Super DDT. Congratulations to the STEINER brothers for moving on to next week's championship match. All right, very good first match. Thank you to everybody who is here checking things out. Congratulations to the STEINER brothers, as they will see us next week in Oklahoma City for the Tournament of Champions, as they attempt to capture the Filsinger Cup Tournament for 2025. And just a glance back at the history of the Filsinger Cup Tournament. Filsinger Cup Tag Team Tournament actually was won by the STEINER brothers last year, so they are defending their titles in the Filsinger Cup Tag Team Tournament next week in Oklahoma City. How about that? A semblance of history made. It looks like in previous years we had one repeat winner. The team of Terry Gordy and Michael P.S. Hayes won back-to-back Filsinger Cups in the years 2020 and 2021. The STEINER brothers attempt to become only the second tag team in history to repeat as Filsinger Cup Tag Team Champions, much to the surprise of no one, says Carl Zilla. More updates from Neil. The champ's godfather and Heidi Howitzer both retained their championships, so good for them. And good for Neil for, as always, running some very good shows in his Velvet Federation. So the STEINER brothers celebrate their victory, and we head on to our next Filsinger Cup tournament match. The following contest is scheduled for one fall with a 60-minute time limit. This is a quarterfinal match in the Filsinger Cup Singles Championship Tournament. Of course, next week we will see the tag team finals, and we will see the singles semifinals and finals in both men's and women's competition. 8 matches in all. Next week from Oklahoma City. But here in St. Louis, looking to qualify for next week's action. Introducing first out of Seattle, Washington. He stands at 6'4" and weighs 255 pounds. This is Johnny Valentine. And his opponent is wrestling's worst nightmare out of Marieville, Quebec, Canada. He stands at 5'11" and weighs 255 pounds. This is Kevin Steen. So Kevin Steen, boy, what a run it has been for him in 2025. Former NWA World Heavyweight Champion, looking to get that title back if he can. But Johnny Valentine standing in his path here tonight in St. Louis, with a berth in the semifinals next week on the line. As Pops Reviews joins us here in the chat room. Welcome, Hasim. It is great to see you, man. It's been too long. And always a pleasure and a privilege to have you here in the channel. And it is going to be Johnny Valentine taking the initiative here, coming out against Kevin Steen with a knee lift. And Steen staggers back a step, and Johnny's on him with a whip to the turnbuckle. Off the turnbuckle comes Kevin Steen, and Steen catches a big kick from Johnny Valentine that stuns Kevin Steen. Valentine maintains control with a big forearm hammer. Steen standing his ground, and Johnny comes at him this time with another whip to the turnbuckle. And this time, coming off the turnbuckle, it is Kevin Steen who dodges a running clothesline by Johnny Valentine. Johnny crashes into the corner hard. Steen rolls him up. He goes for the cover, and Valentine able to kick out. But Steen quickly taking advantage here, and now he is going to pitch Johnny Valentine out of the ring and down to the arena floor. Both these men are A-rated brawlers, and on a roll of 7, it will be Steen winning the brawl on the arena floor with a big suplex down hard to the floor. Steen doing his damage early. He is a hard-hitting wrestler. He will, you know, you're going to be in a fight when you get in there with Kevin Steen. Here is a sleeper hold suplex that takes Valentine back down to the mat. Steen stays on him now with a somersault leg drop, but Valentine able to get out of the way of that one just in the nick of time. Both men getting to their feet. They come together in the center of the ring, and it is Valentine attempting an arm drag. Steen blocks the arm drag attempt, and Steen tries a no-handed enziguri and catches Valentine with a glancing blow. Valentine does not go down, but Steen maintains control, and now a looping punch to the side of the head. Steen continuing to lay in the blows. Here is an eye gouge by Kevin Steen. Johnny Valentine not happy about that. Neither is our referee. And as the referee is scolding Kevin Steen. Johnny Valentine catches Steen with a knee lift behind the referee's back, and Steen is doubled over. Valentine now in control. Big chop to the chest. Steen takes that. He's not going to wince. He's not going to rub it, but he is going to roll out of the ring and down to the arena floor. And on the arena floor this time, it is Johnny Valentine with a diving clothesline off of the ring apron that stuns Kevin Steen. Valentine now in control. We come back into the center of the ring. And Valentine, we're going to stay out of the ring for some more action. And this time it is Kevin Steen who's going to win the brawl on the arena floor. And Steen just throws Valentine over the top of the steel security railing and into the crowd. Johnny Valentine stuck in the crowd. Steen heads back into the ring where he is waiting to do some more damage. And as Valentine returns to the ring, it's going to be Steen going up for a death jump. Steen coming off the top, but it looks like Valentine is going to catch him. And sure enough, he catches Steen and throws Steen down to the mat hard. Quick thinking there by Johnny Valentine, shoving Steen off of the top rope and down to the canvas. And now we go out of the ring yet again. And on the arena floor this time, Steen will again take advantage and win the brawl on the arena floor with an Irish whip into the ring barricade. The barricade taking a lot of punishment here in this one. Steen now in charge with a high angle senton bomb. Once again, Steen going for the cover and Valentine able to kick out. But Steen has hit a couple of big moves here and is starting to do some damage to Valentine. And now Steen is going for the package pile driver. That is a +4 finisher. The pin roll here will be 7 or lower. And on a roll of 8, Valentine barely kicks out. Wow! Steen hit that package pile driver out of nowhere. And Valentine just got out at the count of 2.975. Steen now in control once again, going back up for a death jump. And this time he nails the death jump, putting Johnny Valentine back on the canvas with a big flying cannonball off of the top turnbuckle. Steen now going back up yet again for another death jump. And this time it is a ref bump. Much to the surprise of no one, the chaos of Kevin Steen and Johnny Valentine. Johnny Valentine just pulled the referee into the path of the death jump. And the referee is down. Outside interference is expressly forbidden in the Filsinger Cup Tournaments. So there will be no outside interference. But the referee is down for the next 6 holds. And let's see. It is Johnny Valentine who is going to take the initiative, and Valentine latches on the sleeper. And Steen is going to go out of the ring to get out of the sleeper. And on the arena floor, it is Johnny Valentine clobbering Steen with a foreign object. There's no referee here to do anything about it, as this one has broken loose. Valentine now in the ring hits the atomic skull crusher. And that's going to cost Steen a point of fatigue, but again, no pinfall opportunity. As Valentine stays on and goes back to that sleeper once again, trying to get Steen to weaken. Steen is struggling, but finally breaks free of that. Johnny Valentine tries to get him with a standing arm lock, and Steen with the reversal takes over control. The referee now back on his feet as Steen comes back with a no-handed enziguri that catches Valentine on the side of the head. Glancing blow there. Both men getting to their feet. And as they come together in the center of the ring, the referee finally clears the cobwebs. And it is going to be Johnny Valentine with another big knee lift into the gut of Kevin Steen. Valentine follows that up with an attempt at a back suplex. Up, over, and down to the canvas hard goes Kevin Steen. Both these men with equal agility and equal power. So that move effective. Steen slowly getting to his feet. And now Johnny Valentine catches him again with the atomic skull crusher. The pin roll here 3 or lower, and on a roll of 11, Steen able to kick out. Both these men dishing out plenty of damage here. Another atomic skull crusher delivered by Valentine, and another big kick out by Kevin Steen with authority. Valentine and Steen both now at 3 points of fatigue as Valentine comes with yet another atomic skull crusher, and again Steen forced to kick out. Steen now has been busted open. Valentine stays on him, hits the atomic skull crusher yet again, and yet again Kevin Steen able to kick out. But Johnny Valentine has nailed about 5 of those atomic skull crushers, and now he just hit him with number 6. And with number 6, he got him. Johnny Valentine, with a barrage of atomic skull crushers, finally puts away Kevin Steen and captures the victory. So Johnny Valentine moving on to the Tournament of Champions semifinals next week, after just giving a barrage of damage to Kevin Steen after the ref was injured. And Johnny Valentine used that opportunity to his advantage to regain control of this match and capture the victory. How about that? All right. Kathy Evans has joined us here. Welcome, Kathy. It is good to have you in the chat room, and congratulations to the one and only Johnny Valentine, who moves on to the Filsinger Cup semifinals next week in Oklahoma City. All right, ladies and gentlemen, our next contest is another tag team match. Another semifinal match in the Filsinger Cup Tag Team Tournament for 2025. As we reset the ring and prepare for action here, the following contest is scheduled for one fall with a 60-minute time limit. Disqualification rules will be in effect. Introducing first from Osaka, Japan. He stands at 5'10". He weighs 258 pounds. This is Mr. Fuji. And his tag team partner hails from Tokyo, Japan, standing at 5'11", weighing 262 pounds. This is Mr. SAITO. So Mr. SAITO and Mr. Fuji. And if you weren't with us last week, these two picked up a shocking upset victory over the Road Warriors when Fuji caught Animal with a eye full of salt, setting up for the Japanese to take the upset victory over the Road Warriors. But they're certainly going to have their work cut out for them tonight against their opponents. First from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. He stands at 6'1". He weighs 225 pounds. This is Stan Lane. And his tag team partner from Huntsville, Alabama, standing at 6 foot even, weighing 233 pounds. This is beautiful Bobby Eaton. Sweet Stan and beautiful Bobby, the Midnight Express, in the house. The Midnight Express accompanied by Jim Cornette. And, of course, the team of Fuji and SAITO accompanied by Nikita Breznikov. Again, outside interference expressly forbidden in the Filsinger Cup. But we will give each manager one disqualification attempt. One distraction attempt over the course of the match. Neely Bob got a run. Card 220, 5 matches in Velvet after this. So good, Neil, keep those dice rolling. And we'll keep those dice rolling here in the Heartland, as it will be beautiful Bobby starting things off against Mr. SAITO. And as they come out, it is SAITO who gains the opening initiative roll, and he is going to come out with a whip to the turnbuckle. Off the turnbuckle comes Bobby Eaton, and he bounces off the turnbuckle, and SAITO nails Bobby Eaton with a neck-breaking clothesline. Incredible. SAITO with a chance to do some damage here. He's going to go for the sleeper. Eaton struggling to his feet. Still trapped in that sleeper hold. SAITO keeping the damage keeping the pressure on. He is going to attempt now a body slam, a choice C maneuver. So he'll need 9 or lower to complete the body slam. And oh, Bobby Eaton sneaking out the back door of the body slam. And Eaton instead, with the assistance of Stan Lane, hits the double goozle on Mr. SAITO. And that is an add 1 tag team maneuver for the Midnight Express. And just like that, the tide is turned. Stan Lane is in the ring and in control. And Lane now with a flurry of karate kicks, pummeling and pelting Mr. SAITO with those educated feet. Another spin kick from Lane hits SAITO. SAITO getting to his feet. And as they come together in the center of the ring, SAITO grabs Lane for a whip to the turnbuckle. Off the turnbuckle comes Stan Lane. And oh, another incredible neck-breaking clothesline by Mr. SAITO. Lane is down. SAITO going for a thrust kick to the throat that stuns Stan Lane. And now SAITO will tag Mr. FUJI into the ring for the first time. Here comes Mr. FUJI working against Stan Lane. A kamikaze clothesline delivered by FUJI. FUJI following that up with a big suplex. Lane getting to his feet. FUJI getting to his feet. And it is FUJI now with a whip to the turnbuckle. And as Lane bounces off the turnbuckle, oh, he bounces forward and catches FUJI with a skull-splitting running lariat. And now it is FUJI who goes down hard. And Lane's going to go for a quick cover. And on a roll of 10, FUJI able to kick out. But just like that, boy, these Midnights can strike at any time. Derek Bauman, 802, is here watching while the wife is shopping. I got to get these cards in. I got to get these matches in now because when the wife gets home, we're going shopping. But hello to you, Derek. Stan Lane now in control with another flurry of karate kicks. Mr. FUJI desperately trying to make the tag and is able to get there. And SAITO now in the ring against Mr. FUJI. SAITO in the ring against Stan Lane. And it is another whip to the turnbuckle by Mr. SAITO. And another big kick delivered by SAITO to the midsection of Stan Lane. Stan Lane a C rating off of the turnbuckle. So the Japanese smart to keep working that move. And now it is SAITO sinking in a trapezius grip. And Stan Lane breaks out of the trapezius grip and scores with a double thrust to the throat. And just like that, again, the Midnights managed to turn the tide. They can catch you from anywhere. Another double thrust to the throat delivered by Lane. SAITO backing off. And Lane stays on him now, and it is Lane with a whip to the turnbuckle. And coming off the turnbuckle, it is a big kick delivered by Lane to Mr. SAITO. Double team opportunity for the Midnights. And on a roll of 7, it is a running forearm smash delivered by Bobby Eaton that keeps Mr. SAITO at bay. So good match here. Eaton now in control with another stinging right hand. Boy, nobody threw the right hand quite the way Bobby Eaton did. Eaton follows that up with a big vertical suplex. SAITO blocks the vertical suplex attempt. And it is SAITO attempting that trapezius grip once again. Eaton able to slip out of harm's way there. And Eaton catching SAITO with an arm bar. Good reversals here by both men. Good wrestling sequence. And now it is SAITO with a whip to the turnbuckle. Eaton comes off the turnbuckle. And SAITO catches him with a big kick. And now SAITO going to tag back into Mr. FUJI. Mr. FUJI in against Bobby Eaton. And FUJI now with a attempted a falling headbutt. Eaton way too smart for that, gets out of the way. And Eaton instead fires back with a divorce court, taking out the shoulder of Mr. FUJI. FUJI stunned by that move. Eaton back in control. And now the double goozle. Once again, Eaton and Lane join forces to hit that double team, double goozle. Double goozle. And that puts another point of fatigue on Mr. FUJI. Lane continuing to pound away with those educated karate kicks, and FUJI's going to roll out of the ring and down to the arena floor, and it is FUJI who is going to win the brawl on the arena floor with a diving clothesline off of the ring apron. So Lane now is in trouble as FUJI is back in control. FUJI now shoves Lane into the corner for some double teaming as Fuji and SAITO pound away at Stan Lane with martial arts punches and kicks. Can Lane escape and make the tag? No, he cannot. And now it is SAITO, the legal man, in the ring, as they did make the tag on that. And SAITO is going to go for a second rope knee drop. This is a choice H maneuver. Choice H, and this is not good for SAITO either way. He'll need a roll of 6 or lower to hit this, or a death jump A. SAITO's not really a death jump kind of guy. So we'll go for the agility move on the second rope knee drop, and sure enough, he missed. Lane got out of the way of that, and Lane comes back with a drop toe hold and elbow smash, another double team maneuver by the Midnights, costing SAITO another point of fatigue. Bobby Eaton, now your legal man in the ring. And it is Eaton with the divorce court working on the shoulder of SAITO once again. SAITO is down. Eaton comes at him with a big vertical suplex, blocked by SAITO. And SAITO fires back with a whip to the turnbuckle. Eaton bouncing off the turnbuckle and ducks out of the way as Mr. SAITO charges in. SAITO hits the ring post and tumbles out of the ring and down to the arena floor. Both men now out of the ring, and it is Bobby Eaton who wins the brawl on the arena floor and just pitches SAITO into the crowd. Eaton now back in the ring, collecting his thoughts as SAITO returns to the ring. What's Eaton going to do here? He is going to attack out of the ring once again, and once again it is Bobby Eaton with a backdrop onto the announcer's table that stuns Mr. SAITO. SAITO taking all kinds of punishment here. Stan Lane is now in the ring as they wait on Mr. SAITO, but on a roll of 12, that is a botch, as Eaton and Lane toss the opponent into the ropes for a double clothesline, but instead SAITO ducks and comes back and clotheslines both members of the Midnight Express. SAITO now is in control. SAITO is going with a thrust punch to the heart, and Eaton is stunned. SAITO could have made more out of that situation, but he is in control now with a headlock takedown, putting Eaton back onto the canvas, and SAITO follows that up with a big chop to the chest. That one sounded all over the town of St. Louis as SAITO continues to do damage. An Oriental leg sweep takes Eaton down to the canvas, out of the ring, and down to the arena floor. From the arena floor, it is Eaton once again winning the brawl on the arena floor with a pile driver onto the ring steps. A clean win on the outside for Bobby Eaton puts the Midnights back in control, and now they are going to go for the Vegematic. This is a +3 finisher. The pin roll here will be 8 or lower. Mr. Fuji's got to try the pin save, and he gets there. So the Vegematic hits home, but Fuji able to save his partner from being pinned. And now SAITO in all kinds of trouble here. Mr. Fuji is going to throw caution to the wind and stay in the ring and try to turn the tide of the match in favor of his team. We go to the tag team interference chart with Mr. Fuji creating havoc here, and on a roll of 6, the referee puts the opponent's partner out of the ring. Stan Lane being put out of the ring by the referee, and that is going to enable Mr. Fuji to take control on level 2 offense. But that is all the pin save opportunities that the Japanese have. So Mr. SAITO better get the job done here while the getting is good. And he takes Eaton down with an Oriental leg sweep. SAITO remains in control. He's going to go for a body slam. This is a choice C maneuver. He'll need 9 or lower to hit that. And on a roll of 11, once again, Eaton is able to back his way out of the body slam and come back instead with a whip to the ropes. Off the ropes comes Mr. SAITO. And we had a leaner there. SAITO coming off the ropes, and on a roll of 4, that is Eaton setting his head too soon, and SAITO dumping Bobby Eaton right on the top of his head with a big pile driver. SAITO now going to go for a second rope knee drop. He needs 6 or lower to hit that, and again he misses it, and misses it badly. Another veteran move there by Bobby Eaton to stay out of harm's way. Here is Eaton once again with a whip to the ropes. And this time it is a running shoulder tackle delivered by Mr. SAITO that puts Eaton back down on the canvas. Tag to Mr. Fuji. Fuji coming in against Eaton. Fuji coming in with a kamikaze clothesline. Eaton staggered back. Fuji comes at him again. Another kamikaze clothesline. This time Eaton is down and just able to make the tag to Stan Lane. Once again, the Midnight Express avoids the danger. Lane now coming in against Fuji. Double arm suplex attempt is blocked by Fuji, and Fuji instead comes back with a double thrust to the throat. Good move there by Fuji. Now a big suplex puts Lane down on the canvas. Fuji keeping up the pressure. Here's Fuji with a whip to the ropes. And coming off the ropes, it is a big back body drop delivered by Mr. Fuji that puts Lane down onto the canvas. And now the Japanese with an opportunity to double team. And on a roll of 9, it is a Dudley elbow smash delivered by Mr. SAITO. The Japanese with another chance to do some damage here, as SAITO thought about a whip to the ropes, thought better of it, and instead goes with a whip to the turnbuckle. Much better strategy against Stan Lane. And sure enough, Lane bounces off the turnbuckle, and SAITO catches him with a big kick, a side kick to the midsection. SAITO follows that up. Oriental leg sweep again takes Lane down to the canvas. SAITO doing his best to keep control here. Now they're going to shove him into the corner for some double team activity with Fuji and SAITO putting the boots to Stan Lane. Can Stan Lane escape? He cannot. And Fuji now is in control, and Fuji is going to go for a choice F maneuver. This is an elbow drop. He'll need a roll of 8 or lower to hit the elbow drop, and he nailed the elbow drop, got him good. And Lane is down. Fuji now with a chance to do some damage. And he is going to go for more double teaming in the corner. And again, Lane is desperately going to try and get over and make the tag and is unable to do so. Now it's SAITO in the ring and in control. And SAITO is going to pitch Lane out of the ring and down to the arena floor and force Lane to make that helpless crawl back into the ring ahead of the 10 count. Fuji and SAITO now with a double team attempt, and they're going to hit a bone-crunching double clothesline that puts Lane back down onto the canvas. Lane is down. Fuji with a chance to do some damage here. He's going to go for the middle rope splash, it looks like. The pin roll here 4 or lower, and on a roll of 10, Stan Lane able to kick out, and the match continues. But finally, for the first time in this match, the Midnights take a point of fatigue. Fuji now a twisting back headbutt, and Lane staggers to his feet. Fuji stays on it, whip to the ropes. Off the ropes comes Stan Lane, and this time it is a drop down, and he goes the other way. And coming off the ropes this time, oh, it is Stan Lane coming off the ropes with a sunset flip into a pinning predicament. The pin roll here 5 or lower, and on a roll of 5, he got him. Just like that, the Midnight Express gets the win. As it is Lane who rolls up Fuji coming off the ropes. There may have been a pull of the tights there. There may have been a little extra leverage gained from the ropes or Jim Cornette or some other nefarious forces in St. Louis. But the Midnight Express once again are your winners, and they will move on next week to meet the STEINER brothers with the Filsinger Cup Tag Team Championship on the line for 2025. All right, congratulations to Beautiful Bobby and Sweet Stan, the Midnight Express. Jim Cornette, as always, very proud of his men headed back to the Filsinger Cup Championship Finals as they continue to hold the NWA World Tag Team Championships. And as we review our Filsinger Cup history, The Midnight Express won that title in 2021, and they won that title in 2016. So the Express already two-time Filsinger Cup Tag Team Champions, looking to become the first team to gain the titles 3 times next week. So one way or the other, history will be made in Oklahoma City next week. All right, 2 more matches to go. Thank you to everybody who's hanging out today. As we go to our last Filsinger Cup tournament match for the afternoon. Following contest is scheduled for one fall with a 60-minute time limit. Disqualification rules will be in effect. This is a quarterfinal match in the Filsinger Cup singles tournament. Introducing first out of Amarillo, Texas. Standing at 6'1", weighing 247 pounds, this is Terry Funk. And his opponent hails from Sarasota, Florida. He stands at 6'1" and weighs 248 pounds. This is the one and only Macho Man, Randy Savage. Oh, yeah. So Savage versus Funk. Funk still not at 100%. He's at about 95%, recovering from an injury suffered a number of months ago. Just came back to action for the Filsinger Cup tournament. But he will be a step slow. And Savage will try his best to take advantage of every opportunity to exploit that. But as they come together in the center of the ring, it is Terry Funk who catches an overhead wrist lock to start things off. Funk, a very good technical wrestler, as he continues to hold that overhead wrist lock. What Savage is going to do, he is going to come back with a series of quick jabs that stuns Terry Funk. Savage is going to follow that up with a rope straddle, pressing Terry Funk down chest first across the ropes. The referee puts the 5 count on to put a stop to that, and Savage just responds with a big elbow to the head. Funk is stunned. Savage with a whip to the ropes. Off the ropes comes Terry Funk, and on a roll of 11, it is a running double clothesline. Both men A-rated on the ropes, so it is Savage getting to his feet first, and Savage with a chance to do some damage here. He's going up for a death jump, and in his weakened state, Funk a death jump C, and on a roll of 7, Savage nails a big flying elbow to the head off of the top rope, and Funk is stunned. Now another death jump coming up by the Macho Man, and again, this time a flying double axe handle off the top of the turnbuckle, and Funk is down once again. And now Savage goes up for yet another death jump and another big flying double axe handle blow to the top of the head. Funk is on Woozy Street here as Savage comes at him with a flying double axe handle off of the top rope and down to the arena floor. He can do that once a match, and it is an add 1 move. As Funk is now swinging wildly at the air, just trying to regain his bearings after the onslaught by Savage. Savage now with a big knee drop onto Funk. Funk is going to roll out of the ring and down to the arena floor, and here we go again. Both these men A-rated brawlers, but on a roll of 9, it is the Macho Man with an Irish whip into the steel barricade that weakens Terry Funk and keeps Savage in control of this match. And sure enough, Savage with a big pile driver. He's going to go for the cover. The pin roll here is 3, and on a roll of 8, Terry Funk able to kick out. Funk is a step slow and a step weak, but he is not going to go down that easily. But now Macho Man is going up for the flying elbow smash. He soars through the air. He goes for the cover, and on a roll of 7, and on a count of 3, he got him. So Terry Funk put up a game effort tonight, but the Macho Man with the flying elbow smash gets the victory and moves on to the Filsinger Cup Tournament semifinals next week in Oklahoma City. So congratulations to the Macho Man. Moving on up. All right, before we go to tonight's main event, let us take a look at the tournament brackets for the Filsinger Cup and see what next week holds in store. All right, and in just a few moments, you should see the tournament brackets coming into play. The top half of the tournament bracket was just won by the Macho Man Randy Savage, and he will face Buddy Rogers next week in the semifinals. So Savage against Buddy Rogers next week. And in the bottom bracket, our winner tonight was Johnny Valentine, and he will go on to face Dusty Rhodes. So Johnny Valentine versus Dusty Rhodes, and Buddy Rogers versus Randy Savage next week in Oklahoma City in our Filsinger Cup Tournament semifinals. And as we set things up for the main event, let's look back at the history of these men. And Buddy Rogers won the Cup in 2016. Randy Savage won the Cup in 2014. But neither Dusty Rhodes nor Johnny Valentine have won the Filsinger Cup Championship previously. So yeah, good matches next week. And one of those four men will emerge as the Filsinger Cup winner for 2025. And now, ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to our main event of the evening. The following contest is scheduled for one fall with a 60-minute time limit. Disqualification rules will be in effect for this one. This is for the Pro Wrestling Mid-America Tag Team Championship. And actually, because this is a territory match, I need to grab Jimmy Hart because he is able to participate this time. So Jimmy Hart proudly leading his team down to the ring when the time comes. But of course, in any championship match, it is the challengers who get the first introduction. So coming to the ring first, the challengers. At a total combined weight of 443 pounds, both men from Asheville, North Carolina, collectively known as FTR. This is Cash Wheeler and Dax Harwood. So Cash and Dax coming down to the ring looking for the opportunity to get the gold. But their opponents are a formidable duo. They are your reigning and defending Pro Wrestling Mid-America Tag Team Champions. Led to the ring by the Mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart first. From the great state of Minnesota, he stands at 6'1", weighs 256 pounds. This is Ole Anderson. And his tag team partner comes from Borger, Texas. He stands at 6'3". He weighs 322 pounds. This is Stan Hansen. So Stan Hansen, Ole Anderson coming to the ring. There's been some, I wouldn't say controversy, but they face some challenges. Stan Hansen suffered a neck injury in pursuit of the World Tag Team Championships when they were unable to take the belts from the Midnight Express. Hansen has been on the road to recovery, but still, again, a step slow here tonight. He is at the minor injury level on the on the scale for the Filsinger universe. So he will be a little bit below par, but otherwise ready for action here and determined to defend the titles against this very well coordinated team of FTR. As long as Dusty loses, I'll be happy, says Carl Zilla. Yeah, I mean, I was always neutral on Dusty. I wasn't a huge fan. I wasn't a Dusty hater by any stretch of the imagination. But Dusty Rhodes is a bootleg, and Savage, Valentine, and Buddy Rogers are all Filsinger game originals, and just for that reason, you know, I do use the bootlegs, but I kind of favor the legitimate, you know, genuine article of the Filsinger Cup cards. And over the years, as the Filsinger collection has grown, I've become less reliant on bootlegs. But when I see good bootlegs, I want to use them. And you know, here we have FTR tonight as an example in tonight's main event, and it will be Cash Wheeler starting things off against Stan Hansen as these two teams lock up with the gold on the line. And it is Cash Wheeler who takes the opening initiative role, and he comes out with a dropkick, an agility move, and that is going to stun Stan Hansen. And Stan Hansen immediately is going to reach over and tag in Ole Anderson. Kind of a see, I told you so, Stan. You should have let me start things off in the first place. But Ole now is in the ring working against Cash Wheeler, and it is Ole with a whip to the turnbuckle. Cash comes off the turnbuckle and reverses Ole, sending Ole into the turnbuckle. And now it is Cash with a big kick that stuns Ole Anderson. So Cash gets the best of that opening encounter, and now is going to go for a power slam. This is a choice E maneuver. So he will need a roll of 10 or lower to hit the power slam, and on a roll of 7, he nails it. And Ole Anderson is hurt. Cash in control. Coming at Ole again with a slingshot shoulder tackle. And Ole again is hurt. Cash stays on him. Whip to the turnbuckle. Off the turnbuckle comes Ole Anderson, and on a roll of 6, it is Ole who lifts a knee to the head of Cash Wheeler and stuns Cash Wheeler. Ole now in control. Chance to do some damage here. A vicious stomp. And Cash reaches over and makes the tag into Dax Harwood. Dax Harwood coming into the ring for the first time for the challengers. Harwood comes at Ole with a big elbow smash, and he connects on that. And Ole is not going to make a tag. Dax Harwood instead comes with the heart attack. That is a tag maneuver. And that is going to put Cash Wheeler now as the legal man in the ring. And Cash Wheeler now is going to be assisted by Dax in a big powerplex. And that is an add one maneuver. So Ole absorbs the first point of fatigue of the match. Dax Harwood now the legal man in the ring once again with a fake punch and a DDT that drops Ole headfirst onto his head right in the center of the ring. Ole going to roll out of the ring and down to the arena floor. And here we go. Both these men A-rated brawlers. And on a roll of 7, it is Dax Harwood ramming the back of Ole Anderson into the ring apron. The hardest part of the ring, as we know. And Ole Anderson is stunned by that. Dax Harwood now in control and going to go for the electric chair bulldog. A.K.A. the Super DDT, as was known by, or the Super Dog. Whatever. This is the same move the STEINERs do, where one man holds the opponent high in the air, the other comes off with a bulldog, and that is again an add one maneuver. Ole Anderson absorbing yet another point of fatigue at the hands of FTR. Wheeler now in control with a whip to the ropes. Off the ropes comes Ole, and on a roll of 6, that's a drop down. Ole comes off the other way, and on a roll of 10, that is the running double clothesline. Both men are down. Both men have an equal ropes rating, and so Cash Wheeler is still in control here with a chance to do some more damage. And he's going to go for an inverted figure 4 submission hold. Can he force the submission? No, but Ole Anderson now at 3 points of fatigue. And Jimmy Hart is going to take this opportunity to get involved. On a roll of 5, Hart distracts the referee and the opponent. While Hart's wrestler grabs the megaphone, we may see a disqualification here. We will not. If there is no disqualification, Ole Anderson just smoked Cash Wheeler with the megaphone, and that is going to cost Cash Wheeler a point of fatigue. Ole now in control after the shot from the megaphone. What's he going to do here? He's going to go for a kneeling armbar submission. The submission roll here 4 or lower, and on a roll of 8, Cash is able to work his way to the ropes for the escape. And now we're going to see a double team from the champions. And on a roll of 5, that's going to be very effective. A devastating double team move that cost Cash Wheeler another add 1. And now it is Stan Hansen who is in control. And Stan Hansen with a chance to do something. And he's going to hit the lariat. The lariat out of nowhere on Cash Wheeler. FTR Dax is going to try and make the save on a roll of 12. It is chaos. So Cash eats the clothesline, the lariat. That costs him a point of fatigue. And now your tag partner runs in, and so does the opponent's tag partner. While the referee is distracted, your partner, Dax Harwood, drops the elbow on... So Hansen clotheslines Wheeler. Hansen goes for the cover. Dax comes in, drops the elbow on Hansen, and rolls Cash on top. So Hansen now has to roll a pin, and he is able to kick out. But a close call there, and smart by Dax Harwood. So give Stan a point of fatigue for the pin roll. And now it is Cash Wheeler in control here on level 3 offense. And it is Cash Wheeler going for the Mind Breaker. This is a +2 tag team combination move. The pin roll here on Hansen is a 5. And on a roll of 12, Hansen able to kick out once again. And now Dax Harwood, the legal man in the ring for FTR. So great exchange there. Great sequence of events. As both teams nearly tasted defeat. And now Dax Harwood is going to pitch Stan Hansen out of the ring and down to the arena floor. And here we go once again. It is A versus A on the arena floor. And it is Dax Harwood getting the edge over Stan Hansen with a slam of the head into the ring post. And Stan Hansen stunned by that. Dax Harwood now, chance to do some more damage here. A slingshot power bomb is performed and didn't get all of it. Hansen slowly getting to his feet as Harwood stays on him, and they go for the double team heart attack. That's going to bring Wheeler back into the ring as the legal man. And it is Harwood with a whip to the turnbuckle. Off the turnbuckle comes Stan Hansen, and on a roll of 3, it is Wheeler who tries a running clothesline. Hansen ducks out of the way of that, rolls up Wheeler for the pin. The pin roll here 6 or lower. Dax Harwood's got to try and make the save, and he is just barely able to make the save on Cash Wheeler. FTR now has used up all of their pin save attempts. And Cash Wheeler, the legal man in the ring, as Hansen is going to go for the finish on a power bomb. Wheeler slowly getting to his feet. Hansen trying to finish him off. Whip to the ropes. Wheeler comes off the ropes, and Hansen catches him with a running back elbow. Wheeler is stunned. Hansen with a big elbow drop. In comes Ole Anderson. Double team attempt coming up from the champions. And on a roll of 2, it is a deadly face-first double suplex. It's Ole going for the cover. The pin roll 7 or lower, and on a roll of 6, they got him. Wow! What a match for the champions. It looked like Stan and Ole were dead to rights, but they got the best of Cash Wheeler. And it is Ole getting the pin on Cash after a face-first double team suplex. So the teamwork of 3W puts FTR out of commission there. And it is Ole Anderson getting the pin on Cash Wheeler, and Jimmy Hart beside himself with joy as FTR's challenge goes by the wayside. And the team of 3W, Stan Hansen and Ole Anderson, have successfully retained the Pro Wrestling Mid-America Tag Team Championship in tonight's main event. All right, great matches here tonight. Thank you to everybody who joined us. Carl Zilla, first in line and last in the arena. Neely Bob, Neil Lau with us, Derek Bauman with us, Kathy Evans, Pops Reviews, Hasim with us here tonight. So thank you to everybody who tuned in for tonight's matches. That is going to wrap things up here in the Dave Cave. Be sure to tune in next Saturday night for the Tournament of Champions, the 2025 Filsinger Cup Championship Tournament finale next week from Oklahoma City. Not sure what time that will be. Once again, on Saturdays, I will like to watch Ohio State play football. I also enjoy catching the World Series, if that's a thing. So we'll just be flexible and try to get that on the air when we can. Next Saturday from the Dave Cave. Tomorrow, for those of you who are so inclined, another episode of My Journey with Jesus will be on the channel. And at some point midweek, I will also do a Heartland highlight reel with a preview of all the action we're going to see in Oklahoma City next week. Salvador America also weighing in. Solid card. Thank you, Salvador. Always a pleasure to have you here in the Epic Sports Broadcasting Network. So from the Dave Cave, this is Dave Little signing off. That's our stream.